Russ is gasping for air. He can't even answer me. He's so worn out. But he's still diving. He's still clawing. He's a very unique basketball player. He almost set the assist record tonight of playing the most minutes without one.
How could any player be tired in that game? They stood around and shot free throws, for goodness sakes.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Red and Blue Review. It's our turn to give you our take on the game. And for the first time, I think, in history, we were all three right on our predictions, and Howie's the only one who was sad that he was right. But first, say hello to Daryl Bird, who was nailing it for the Cat's Paws. You predicted a Kentucky win.
Yeah, I did. I thought it would be a much prettier game than what it was, but I did think Kentucky win. They had far too many athletes, and it's going to be hard, really, to make fun of Louisville because they played really hard in this game.
Go ahead and try.
But I want Kyle Keurig and Shane Bohannon, you're on milk jugs somewhere. The guys are still looking for you. Where are you? You're on cartons.
They didn't find them in Lexington. Now, Howie, I've got to give you credit, bro. Last week, you took some heat from your fan base for predicting another Kentucky win, but you were right.
I was right, unfortunately. I just thought Kentucky had too many weapons to go into this game in Rupp Arena. I knew it'd be a crazy atmosphere. I knew the referees would respond to that atmosphere, and they did. So it just, Louisville tried their best. I think a couple of guys were absolutely missing in this game, but we'll break it all down. We got plenty of time in the show.
We'll talk about refs and Russ and all kinds of things as we jump into our lightning round. The lightning round on the Red and Blue Review is brought to you by the Kentucky Corner. Locations spread from one end of the Commonwealth to the other, including the Florence Mall and the Ashland Town Mall, and on your corner at KentuckyCornerOnline.com. Well, who's hot at the University of Kentucky? MKG. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, 24 points, 19 rebounds, and a ton of heart.
I'm just maturing a lot. Just as a leader, I was confident. And my game and everything else like that, so I was very confident.
Off the jump, he drove, got easy points, knocked down 2 big threes, and he rebounded crazy today. I mean, that's what helped us win.
We're going to run out of adjectives for this guy before we're not even into conference play yet. And I can remember early on when they first got on campus, Coach John Calipari called him a warrior. And he made the statement early, even at being a freshman, everybody's either going to keep up with him or he's going to run off and leave everybody. That's just how hard he plays every minute. And I got a chance to talk to Darius Miller after the game about he's been like that since day one. And there were times that you wanted, in pickup games, you wanted to say, come on, dude, it's just a pickup game. His motor does not stop. And with everything he's been through, you know why his motor doesn't stop. He's playing. He'll be in the NBA next year and doing very well.
Daryl, what surprised me about his play in the game was not how much he hustled. He always did that. But his three-point shot really set a huge tone in that game.
Yeah, for a guy who supposedly can't shoot, you're absolutely right. And, Jay-Z was in the crowd. Kidd-Gilchrist is from New Jersey. If I'm smart, I'd draft that kid just to have that kind of personality when they open up the new place in Brooklyn. I absolutely do.
That's a good point. Who's hot for the University of Louisville? This was a lead pipe cinch because there was only one candidate, Russ Smith. He had 30 points, more than the rest of the starters combined, and Rick wasn't satisfied.
He's impressive doing things with the ball. He's not impressive. He's got to start, at least go in there and hit somebody. He's standing, taking tickets on the perimeter, and we're in a fight, 5 versus 4. And we're getting the hell beat out of us, and we need another guy to get in there and just hit somebody's knees. If you come up to their knees, hit somebody.
I play hard. I leave it on the floor, and I felt as if maybe if I go by some guys, keep my confidence, stuff will start going in. I just stayed confident all 40 minutes, offensively and defensively.
I had the story written. Louisville was making this comeback. They were gutting it out. Russ Smith was scoring all these points. I had the headline written, Russ Arena. And it was ready to go. And Louisville couldn't get it done down the stretch. But it was absolutely fantastic to watch this kid play. Think about this. 6 months ago, if you asked anybody in the Louisville media, he was going to Manhattan. He was going to be in Manhattan with Steve Masiello trying to build that program up there. They just thought there's no way that Russ Smith was going to be on this team this year. If Louisville didn't have him, well, take those 30 points away. It'd be, 69-32.
Why was he so effective, Howie?
He had no fear. The rest of the guys, Peyton Siva, Kyle Kuric, it was like they took themselves out of their own game. And they're afraid to challenge Anthony Davis. Even when Davis wasn't in there, they didn't get the ball to Gorgui Dieng. And they just played scared. It was weird.
Who's not hot for the University of Kentucky is Deron Lamb. Now, as I understand the story, there's a group of kids from the University of Kentucky basketball team. They work out every morning together. They call it the Breakfast Club, and apparently Lamb has been sleeping in the last few mornings, but after that performance Saturday, my guess is he'll start showing up.
We have one guy that stopped about a week and a half ago, and he showed today how he played. And the guys that are continuing to do those extra things, that extra work, it's amazing. You get what you deserve in life and in basketball. We fouled because they were dumb fouls. I mean, Deron grabbed the guy's arm for a fourth foul. You know why? Because he didn't aggressively come back to meet the pass. So now he's in the slow motor moved away from the ball. The kid runs up and he grabbed it. He did it. He grabbed him.
It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out going forward with Deron Lamb, who's a really good player, and his only criticism from coaches and fans since he's been here is motor. And you hear Cal talk about his motor being slow because he doesn't play as hard as Gilchrist. Gilchrist makes everybody else look slow when you're around him. Fortunately, you're on the same floor with him, so you better start playing. And I think with conference play coming up, and it's time to go make a name for yourself and your future and get this team where it wants to be, he's going to have to start playing better and more consistent, and I think he will.
Who's not hot is Kyle Kuric. He's one of the guys that we identified in the pregame show that could have been a difference maker in this ball game, but he made very little difference. 38 minutes, 2 points, 2 rebounds. We asked Peyton Siva how UK managed to close Kyle's corner.
I think their length has really bothered them. They didn't come off. He got a couple open looks that didn't go in. Maybe standing around too much, not being aggressive as much as rest was. Kind of just not being as involved as I need to be.
Were they keying on you? Were they trying to take away that corner shot?
Oh, I mean, that's just very obvious. Whenever he penetrated, you could hear in the first half, stay right there, don't leave, don't move. So you got to find other ways to score.
This was probably the biggest disappointment for me in the entire game, that Kyle Kuric did not have a better effort. And not just shooting. If they're taking away your shot, it's totally fine. Do what Gilchrist did. I mean, go in and get some rebounds. I mean, the most troubling stat is that he had 1 assist. If they're closing out on your shot, you should be getting assists. Yeah. And they had 2 rebounds. Kyle Kuric is a much better player than he showed on Saturday. And I think the other big thing for me in frustration is that he spent 5 straight months in the offseason working on his dribble moves, working on that ball fake and go, because he knows people are going to take away that wing shot for him, and he didn't use it. So why work on that for 5 months if you're not going to use it?
Howie, how concerned are you with this Louisville basketball team when you consider they've lost to Kentucky, they lost to Georgetown, they struggled against a very bad Western Kentucky team. They're ranked number 4 in the nation, at least going into that game, and right. A lot of doubters are saying they were way overranked. It really looks like the doubters may be right.
I don't think the doubters are right. I think they're not a top 10 team, certainly. And from that standpoint, the doubters are right. But I think some people are saying, they're not a top 25 team. They're not a top 20 team.
Certainly that.
Yeah. They're certainly that. They're probably somewhere between 10 and 15, which is probably what they'll be ranked this week. And I think that's reasonable. I don't think they've got all their weapons in. I'd like to see Kyle Kuric be more effective. I'd like to see Wayne Blackshear come in. I'd like to see a healthier Rakeem Buckles. So they'll be a better team at the end of the year. They're not quite there.
I knew Louisville was in trouble when they had to throw Kevin Ware in so early in the game. And you got to go to a guy who had much more than practiced. Well, the buzz in this basketball game, there were a lot of them. One was the shot blocking of Anthony Davis. He blocked 6 Louisville shots, and that little guy, Russ Smith, just kept attacking the basket.
He was, shooting the ball well, coming in the lane and making tough layups. So I'm like, man, this kid, he's a warrior, he's real tough. Most guys, after they get their shot blocked, just, I'm not going in there anymore. But he kept coming, kept attacking, They really did a great job of it.
What you have to do to go to the basket against that guy is almost impossible. I mean, he's the amount of room he covers, around the basket is incredible, and it's more floaters, more pull-up, more try to get guys like Shane. I tried to lob him the ball. When he came over to help, he blocked the jump shot from in the paint. But Anthony Davis he's very solid.
Blocked 6 shots, and I think all 6 of them were in the second half. He did everything in the second half. So foul trouble. And Russ Smith is like, really, you're going to come in here again? And he doesn't just block shots. It's like volleyball sometimes, beach volleyball. And that's part of the reason why Kyle Kuric was who's not hot. you don't have to leave. You don't have to go in and help when somebody's driving. You can just stay on your man because Anthony's going to clean up everything that comes near the paint. He's going to crush the block shot record this year.
Davis got in foul trouble and made a big contribution to the game. Shane Behannon got in big foul trouble, and he did not. In fact, he got stuck on the bench after picking up his second and third fouls, including a technical on the same play.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like he was already on the ground when I got the ball, so when I went in, he just flopped. Yeah, I mean, they call it charge or whatever, and I mean, they said I threw the ball in his lap, and I'm like, damn, like, you know, I was frustrated, and the ball bounced in the lap. I looked at the ref like, I didn't, but I mean, can't take it.
Right after the play happened, of course, everybody on Twitter and message board, all that kind of thing, asking me my opinion. I'm at the other end of the court. Can't really see it all that well. Since then, I've watched it 4 or 5 different times, and I've kind of combined that with what I saw at the previous end of the court. Yes, Shane Behannon fouled him. Absolutely lowered his shoulder. That was definitely a charge. The technical, in my opinion, was actually the result of probably the previous 2 plays. In the previous play, he and Terrence Jones had been jawing at each other, and most likely, and this is what happens a lot of times that fans don't understand, a referee will come over and say, hey, fellas, knock it off. I don't want to see any more of that.
Yeah.
Well, then the very next play kind of tosses the ball and it lands in Terrence Jones' lap. That's easy technical for a referee. I'm not saying that's what happened because I don't know that that's what happened. That's what happens a lot of times that fans don't see.
Well, the red and blue crew had to take on all the officiating. Stephen Rossico from Louisville, here's what he had to say about what we all witnessed in Rupp Arena. He said, if I was Cal, I would have been ejected at the end of the game so he could tell the officials how badly they stunk it up, Daryl.
No, you don't ever want to get ejected. And you can't say anything. You notice that most, 99% of the time, they will not say anything about officiating because there's fines and league rules. You can't do that. And both coaches, when asked about it, put it on their own players. We fouled. Bad fouls. No, we did. There were so many fouls. It just ruined, it almost marred what should have been a great game because of it broke up all the rhythm. You just couldn't, it's really hard to watch, and I hate that for it.
There were 70 fouls called in that game. We come back. Rick will tell us if the refs blew it right after Daryl tells us about the Cat's Paws magazine.
I appreciate it. Maybe we should have put a zebra on the cover this week. Maybe that would have been appropriate, but we didn't. All about Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, of course, and his outstanding performance, career game, and one of many coming. No kidding around. We went with this week. SEC begins this weekend. That'll be next week's cover. 800-641-3302.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Explorer or F-150. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford, on the Waterson at Poplar Level Road.
If you're like me, you're dreading the thought of higher energy costs this season. That's why I call my friends at Doug Jones Home Improvement, who's been doing quality work at a fair price for over 40 years. Doug Jones Home Improvement offers maintenance-free replacement windows, insulated vinyl siding, and airtight entry doors. They're priced fairly with no high-pressure sales tactics or hidden fees. Doug Jones Home Improvement prides itself on keeping the weather outside while keeping you comfortable inside.
For a free estimate, call us at 366-0291.
When you need a truck, Bachman Chevrolet is your truck headquarters. I'm Teresa Bachman. Even during our construction, we have more trucks than any other dealer. Silverado, Colorado, Tahoe, or Suburban, Bachman is your #1 Chevrolet truck dealer. Nobody beats Bachman's price or selection on any Chevrolet, including Traverse and Equinox. Chevrolet has what you need, and Bachman Chevrolet has what you want. Bachman makes the difference.
Kentucky Corner is giving UK fans a new cheer this season.
Pink!
Think Power Pink when you dress Big Blue this season. Kentucky Corner is the only place to find hot new colors and styles the Big Blue Nation craves.
Polka dot!
Kentucky Corner is in Louisville, Lexington, Ashland, Florence, E-Town, Clarksville, Paducah, and with Kentucky Corner Online, there's a Kentucky Corner on your corner.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
That means you defended and you rebounded. And you love winning games like that because there are going to be games that happens. You know, you're just not going to shoot the ball well, or teams are going to muck it up, or they're going to go triangle and 2, or a box and 1, something you haven't seen, and all of a sudden you look confused and you can't make a shot. But you defend and you rebound, so you win anyway. And that's what we want to do.
To win it all, you got to win a lot of different ways. Kentucky proved they could. One of the topics we're about to discuss in our Game Time storylines. Topic number 1 on our Game Time storylines. Kentucky was held to its lowest point total of the season, less than 30% shooting, and they still won.
What does this tell you about this team being able to score 69 points and still win?
I think we did a pretty good job defensively. A lot of their points came from our turnovers, and but it seemed like when we got them down in the half court and buckled down on defense, we did a pretty good job of getting stops, and we got to continue to do that throughout the rest of the season.
Going up and down, they play the same way. You know, they got quick guards, quick big men who get up and down just like us. So we really had to execute in the half court, and that's what we did.
As ugly as it was, and the fact that forget that it was the rivalry, that may turn out to be a really important lesson and victory for UK to win while shooting 29%, because you're going to see it in the NCAA tournament. There are going to be games that are going to get that ugly and nobody's hitting. And go back to the Final Four, how horrible the shooting was for every game in Houston. Nobody could shoot on that playing surface, so you got to play defense and you got to rebound. That's the lesson to be learned. Come and play hard every day.
A lot of fouls called in that game. It made it almost unwatchable. In fact, I was telling the guys, if that had been something other than a rivalry, you may have turned it off. It was that hard to watch. But Rick Pitino says, do not blame Louisville's loss on the officiating.
No, I think there were fouls. I really do. I kept saying to our guys, you fouled them. You fouled them. Now, the one with Peyton and this one, maybe not. Maybe there was another one. But they're fouls. I'm sure that they got some fouls called on them that weren't warranted, and we got. I thought that Peyton and the guy are going for the ball, and they both smash into each other. It's just that two teams play really, really hard and physical, and they call it.
There were fouls in that game, certainly, and there were quite a few fouls in that game, certainly. Were there this many fouls? I mean, you look at Louisville had 31 fouls called on it. 43 free throws for Kentucky. That is a ton.
Yeah.
And it told me, there was a lot being made of the Cincinnati Xavier game. I really think that a lot of officials are reacting to that game, and I think this is part of it, is that these officials wanted to establish control early on. I think there are a lot of officials as well who love being a star of a show. Mm-hmm. And when it's a big atmosphere, they perform to that big atmosphere. And I think that's a problem in the college basketball game currently.
Daryl, give me your take on that. We discussed that as well as being a huge part of the ball game. As we've noticed in not just this Louisville-Kentucky game, but in other games, officials really seem to be playing a more prominent role.
Yeah, some of them even call TV Teddy. That name is out.
Exactly.
Yeah, there are some that you absolutely do. I think Howie's right. And I was sitting out on Twitter about it. These officials are trying to prevent a problem that does not exist. There's no way that game was going to get out of hand, Xavier Cincinnati. Kentucky players don't play that way. Louisville doesn't play. It's a different personality than what you see up there. They didn't need to do that, and they nearly marred the game. And I was so aggravated watching them. Let them play the game, for crying out loud. And they just wouldn't do it.
One of the game plans that Louisville had going into this was to send Anthony Davis and his mates to the free throw line. Makes sense. Davis is about a 50% free throw shooter. Well, against Louisville, he makes 12 of 13.
But Anthony Davis, it was great to see him. Now, if you're him, wouldn't you ball fake, step through, ball fake, and just get fouled? Why even shoot the ball? Get fouled. So, it was good to see him make his.
That could be very huge for him because it's a turning point, because he is a good free throw shooter coming into this career, and he hasn't been. And he admitted to me early in the season when he first struggled that he was letting, if he missed the first one, he would let it get to him. Let it get in his head, and he said, I got to stop doing that. I got to stop doing that. And it's taken several games, picked a heck of a game to come out of that, and it should go forward. Once you have your confidence on the free throw line, and you're good anyway, you'll keep it. That's a really nice form. Remember, this is a point guard who just happened to grow into the country's best shot blocker. He knows how to shoot free throws, and he'll be good the rest of the way.
He told us after the game, asked about that 12 of 13 performance. You're proud of that, right? He goes, no, I missed one. So that's a good sign for future days ahead. Well, how about Rick playing at Rupp? The Cards are 1-1 now on the road, losing at Louisville, but winning at Butler. And Rick Pitino says that this team, his team, has got to learn because of their schedule. They've got to learn how to win away from the Yum Center.
We felt it was a winnable game, and not because we don't respect for Kentucky, but we knew we were going to be in the game. We knew we'd fight back. But they're very, very good. It's a tough environment to play in. This is like Las Vegas was great for. This is awesome for us to play in this environment because you're not going to see. Pitt is good, Syracuse is good, those environments. But this is one of the premier environments in basketball. And if you can fight tooth and nail, come out, you'll know what the road is all about. So it's great. I don't want to do it too many times. I don't want to go home and home in the same year. But it's good for us.
The Big East is the best conference in basketball, no question, but Louisville's not going to see a road environment like Rupp Arena. Nobody cares about basketball nearly as much as we do here in the Bluegrass State.
Right. Yep.
And even though Syracuse is a fantastic team, and Pittsburgh's a great team, and there are other great teams in the Big East, the environments just aren't the same.
Right.
It's like, it's just different. And so, if Louisville can handle Rupp Arena, which I think they did fairly well, I think Shane Bohannon did not handle it well, Kyle Keurig didn't handle it well, but the rest of these guys, if Russ Smith can gain confidence from this, they can win anywhere. They really can, because this is the toughest road environment they'll see all season.
And when you talk about playing on the road, look at what Kentucky's loss to Indiana meant when you consider now Indiana's also beaten number 2 Ohio State there this weekend. So Kentucky's gotten that feel of what it's like to play away from home. When we come back, we picked a couple of difference makers from this Kentucky-Louisville game, and it's neither one of the team's leading scorers. See if you can figure it out as we come back from the break. Howie's going to tell us about CardinalSports.com.
You got it. CardinalSports.com is your best source for all kinds of recruiting news, all kinds of updates, basketball, football, everything, baseball even. Check it out. There's a great story on there right now about a big-time linebacker, 4-star linebacker named Nick Dawson, who, that the U.S. Army All-American game where they pick out the hats and say where they're going? He just might put on a Louisville hat on Saturday.
Come on now.
So that's going to be big time. Be sure to check out that game. Be sure to check out CardinalSports.com.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Edge or Explorer. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford on the Watterson at Poplar Level Road.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
If you're like me, you're dreading the thought of higher energy costs this season. That's why I call my friends at Doug Jones Home Improvement, who's been doing quality work at a fair price for over 40 years. Doug Jones Home Improvement offers maintenance-free replacement windows, insulated vinyl siding, and airtight entry doors. They're priced fairly with no high-pressure sales tactics or hidden fees. Doug Jones Home Improvement prides itself on keeping the weather outside while keeping you comfortable inside. For a free estimate, call us at 366-0291.
Kentucky Corner is giving UK fans a new cheer this season.
Pink!
Think Power Pink when you dress Big Blue this season. Kentucky Corner is the only place to find hot new colors and styles the Big Blue Nation craves.
Polka dot!
Kentucky Corner is in Louisville, Lexington, Ashland, Florence, E-Town, Clarksville, Paducah, and with Kentucky Corner online, there's a Kentucky Corner on your corner.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card featuring Chariot Run, Bardstown Country Club at Maywood, Rosewood Country Club, Indian Springs, Cave Valley Golf Resort, the Falls Golf Resort, the Bull, and Stonecrest Golf Course is available now. Get your golf tour card and play 8 great courses with cart for one low price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. You can play anytime, but you must get your golf tour card now.
How about this for a difference maker for Kentucky? Terrence Jones. Cal said coming into this game that despite that injured digit, that Jones had to figure out a way to make a contribution to the Cats without scoring the basket. Well, he did it. 11 rebounds, 3 steals to go along with 2 points.
I feel a lot better. I mean, just being able to be more comfortable catching the ball, and once it just can take pain, like during the game, and still not hurt as much, I'll be a lot happier.
Cal said you might need another week to get back to normal.
I don't know. Honestly, I asked the trainer at least how long until some of the swelling will go down or something. You didn't know, so I don't know.
We're now Cat fans, but I think Terrence Jones is on the way back. He was favoring it so much heading into this game, and to get those rebounds and to do something like that we haven't seen, he was a little bit of a baby about it. I thought, yeah, it's going to hurt, but so what? Stick your hand in there. And he finally realized in this game, hey, I can get it hit, and it's going to be okay. It won't break again. I mean, never broke, but it's not going to break if somebody bumps into it. How about you go play? And he did in this game. The points will follow.
Difference maker for the Cards, Gorgie Jang. He went out with his 4th foul with the score tied at 40 apiece. You know what happened after that, and Louisville was out-rebounded by 26 in that ballgame.
He is the guy we have to have on the court at all times. And we didn't do a good job on the backboard with Gorgie out of the game because, you know, Gorgie's one thing, but then you're playing 2 6-foot guards, and that doesn't help. Kyle didn't rebound the ball, so we're really overmatched on the backboard tonight.
Well, I would say the game was tied up when Gorgie got his foul. And once Gorgie got the 4th foul, it was kind of like, you know, it was kind of tough down the stretch.
Louisville's on its way back. I mean, even Gorgie getting that foul couldn't stop that kind of momentum for Louisville's progress. But then it just started chipping away at Louisville right after that. I mean, right after that, all the momentum swung Kentucky's way.
See you next time on the Red and Blue Review.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card featuring Chariot Run, Bardstown Country Club at Maywood, Rosewood Country Club, Indian Springs, Cave Valley Golf Resort, the Falls Golf Resort, the Bull, and Stonecrest Golf Course is available now. Get your golf tour card and play 8 great courses with cart for one low price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. You can play anytime, but you must get your